The 13 cars, part of the TC13, begin to roll out for 13 laps, starting on the pole after finishing 5th after the 5-car invert. Car number 82 for Michael Christopher Jr.
Those early summer months, throughout summer months, struggling, going backwards, not making improvements every week, that's tough. But that's what racing is. You're not guaranteed to be fast every single week or every single year. Knew we had a good car because I think we just finished top 5 in the 40-lap race. And that was kind of where our season was turning around. We were kind of turning that corner. It is just another race. I mean, there is meaning behind it, and it's a different kind of format. There is a 40-lap feature before that race, and you got to get through that first. That's the most important in the grand scheme of things. I knew we had something that was capable of running up front. I knew I wanted to do whatever I could to try and win it.
Green is out, 13 cars, 13 laps. We are underway with the 5th running of the TC13.
David Arute on the outside, stepped on the gas in the middle of 1 and 2. He's got the advantage by a half a car length over Mike Christopher Jr. to turn 3. That 82 car looks really good in the 40-lap feature. He slides up the track, but Arute holds his ground. They're still side by side, Nerf bar to Nerf bar. Christopher drives it in deep, pushes Arute up the track.
Well, it goes back to, what I thought of before the green flag dropped was that, there's only one place to go from here, so might as well, try and hold on to it as long as we could. And yeah, I was pretty brutal with David. I bet it played a little bit of a factor into why Brian caught us so quickly. Brian definitely had the best car for that race. If I didn't do that, I think David would have just rolled by me on the top. My car was just way too tight. And if we have to, play a little dirty, then that's what it is. I hit him and he hit me, and it's like, I don't even care. That's just part of the racing,
Here comes Narducci with a big shove by Marcello Refrano.
What incredible racing. Brian sideways, gets into Refrano, collects Todd Owen, collects the 3 of Troy Talman and Tyler Leary. They're wrecking on the backstretch as well.
I don't think we had the best car, and I think a little bit of luck was on our side, or lack of skill on Brian's part, but because he cleaned out most of the competition. I didn't even know it. I thought the whole race there was still like at least 10 cars. That's just how it goes. Sometimes better to be lucky than good, but I think we were both in that situation.
Off turn 4, but at the line it is Mike Christopher Jr. Contact in turn 1, Christopher up the hill.
Going back there, even if you watch the in-car camera, I was dialing brake to it every single straightaway. I would go a little bit too far in the rear, drive it in, hit him or something, get loose or something like that. So I'd dial it back to the front. Oh, that's a little bit too much. We'll go like half a turn back, like just trying to make it perfect.
Here's Moeller now to challenge for second. Christopher's not done yet, going into 3.
He got a massive run into turn 2 and gives a shot to the 75 of Arute.
My dad builds the engines, and he builds great power. That's one of it. But the other thing was David was getting free. He didn't have the drive that I had. So not only are we good down the straightaway, if we were equal, I was in the gas longer. And that's just momentum at that point.
That has allowed Mike Christopher Jr. to get a run, build a run. The 82 goes to the front in turn 3.
David Arute's gonna try the crossover back to the inside. They get together. Arute sideways, hangs onto it. What a save by the 75. But it's Christopher out in front with 3 laps to go with Noah Corner on his tail.
New challenger in the 31, Noah Corner now up to the 2nd spot. Coming to 2 laps to go in the TC13.
Those last like 2-3 laps were just defensive driving, and I think we still had better drive. We were still really, really tight through the center, and good power down the straightaway, but I knew Noah wasn't going to do anything dumb, so I kind of had that going for me. But we put on a good show, and there's a story from it, and it worked out for me in the end. So.
The 31 is trying to get underneath. He pulls to the inside. It's not going to be enough. Mike Christopher Jr. has won the 5th annual Ted Christopher 13 Shootout.
Oh man, just ecstatic, And I said that we were starting to turn that corner. I think we did that night, and it kind of set up the remainder of the season with good runs and stuff like that. So yeah, it just feels good to accomplish something that you've been working on for months on end, late nights, whatever we can do. And it just makes up for all those bad finishes. So.
In a race run in the memory of TC. Mike Christopher Jr.'s out of the car.
I like that. You know, you're getting up close and personal. Hopefully it becomes such a trend where fans don't just leave the racetrack, leave the stands after the checkered flag flies. You know, now hopefully they'll realize, like, okay, if he wins, we're going to see him pretty much up close and personal after the race and see that excitement. But yeah, getting out of the car, that's just kind of my signature, I guess, now. I like it. And then Brian coming up to me, he was, you know, very happy that we won. And then he followed that up with, "That Marcello, he did this to me." I'm like, okay. And he started, you know, just walked away. But
it was just a ton of fun. I have to thank my whole crew, sticking by my side, and you know, all these horrible races that we've had recently, or throughout the whole year, actually. You know, never gave up, kept fighting, and you know, here we are. This is what it's all about.
my Aunt Judy was there, which is my dad's sister, with her 2 kids, my cousins. They don't come to the track often, so obviously Quinn was there too. Okay, this is cool, and turns out we win. So, you know, we got pretty much the whole Christopher side of the family into victory lane. So that's just, it's huge, man. You know, it's great.